Hey kids, welcome back to the Gaming with Dad show. Today we are doing another retro flashback retrospective on Burgertime, but before we do that, go on ahead, like, subscribe, ring the bell, leave a comment, share the video out, encourage others to subscribe. Go on ahead and just go to your favorite burger joint, get yourself a nice hamburger, and when they ask you for your name, just say the Gaming with Dad show. But yeah, so the version of Burgertime that we are looking at, specifically right here, is for the Intellivision. It came out in 1982. Now there is a version for the Atari 2600 that is not as good as this version, even though the controls are actually better. But this game has a lot of Memberberries for me. It was my mom's favorite game on the Intellivision. I don't know if I ever actually saw her play it, but she did enjoy watching it and everything. And this version, despite the wonky-ass controller of the Intellivision, is my favorite version. I do have this on the NES. There'll be footage later on in the video about that. But you might ask yourself, Dad, why are you playing this old version of this arcade game? You can get the arcade game version, which is by far the best version of this. And truth be told, it's because this is the version I had when I was 10. Quite literally, I still have that cartridge. But it reminds me, playing Burgertime for the Intellivision reminds me of my mom. And unfortunately, she's not with us anymore. But this is just a way of being able to kind of relive some of those memories and have them be the good times. That's why we play retro games, is to recapture some of our childhood that has unfortunately passed. In my case, this is a 42-year-old version of a game that I absolutely positively love. Graphically, this is the best version on the early generations of the consoles. On the other hand, yes, you can play the arcade version. Yes, there are modern versions that say they're Burgertime on the Switch and everything, but they're just not the same. Same concept. You go, you smash the burger, you get it to drop down, and your job is to build the burgers at the bottom of the screen. This is really impressive for the Intellivision. The lettuce actually looks like lettuce. The hamburger, looks like McDonald's hamburger. But it is actually pretty good. Now, Burgertime did receive a sequel in Diner, and it loses some of that charm that the original had. Yeah, I forgot the hitboxes. It's not truly a 3D game that you can sneak around in. But this is a graphical downgrade from the original. You have to kick these stupid little balls of food down to the bottom of the screen, and they make like a salad or something. I don't know. But it is by far the lesser of the games. And I remember not liking this one nearly as much as I liked the original when I was 10. But yeah, it reminds me, again, sitting in that kitchen where the Intellivision 2 was, and playing it while my mom cooked. And just having time with her. And, I mean, she didn't want to buy us Night Stalker because it had guns. There were weird things. I wasn't allowed to see the original Star Wars in the theater because I was too young, but I was allowed to see it after my next birthday. But by the time that birthday came around, we had moved to the Twin Cities, and Star Wars wasn't in the theater anymore. So I had to wait until, I think it was 1980 when Empire came out, and they re-released Star Wars, now with the tagline A New Hope, and Chapter 4 in the theaters. That's when I finally got to see Star Wars. There was that, and then she took me to see History of the World Part 1, which, I mean, radically inappropriate for the age that I was at the time. And so it was just, she was an interesting lady, and I do miss her, and playing these games makes me remember some of that childhood, brings me back to it. And that's why these versions of Burgertime are my favorite to go back and revisit and play, because they're the ones I grew up with. Now, that said, I'm just trying to look up to see when History of the World was released. "1981. I was 9 years old, and she took me to see History of the World Part 1. That might have been one of the first times I saw boobies in live action. But yeah, that was... My mom was a strange person. And playing these games just reconnects me with that youth. It wasn't all flowers and sunshine with her. I mean, I remember her grounding my older brother because he was wearing a blue shirt. At least that's the excuse she gave for it. In all reality, it was because he had started an argument with her. She grounded him. He asked for the reason why. She said, "Because I said so." He said, "That's not a reason." And she's just like, "Fine, you're wearing a blue shirt." So none of us wore blue shirts up until her funeral, where everybody, including my dad, wore a blue shirt. It was kind of one of those... It was one of those memories that she just thought quick on her feet. Super bright woman. She was going to school back in the 60s for math and computer science, which is really very progressive and ahead of the time, because at the time thank you, Siri. Thank you, Mickey. But she had to get a special letter from my grandfather saying she was allowed to study maths. Think about what that is and how just far we've come in that area of equality. Not equity, equality. Oh, God. I hate when I die. Now, this is the NES version that we're seeing on the screen here. Yeah, graphically, it is superior to the Intellivision version. Of course it is. But the chef moves a little bit fast. The burgers actually look like they might have been out in... left out for a little bit too long because they've got a little bit of a green ring to them. I don't know why that is. That's disturbing. Why didn't that smash the egg? But, I ran out of pepper. So, yeah, this was the version that I would have had in high school and college. And, yeah, I do buy this game for basically every platform that, or every gaming system that I own. I've got a version on the Switch that's okay, it's not great. But there are things about this game I absolutely love. There's the background music that is just, it's an earworm. Come on ahead. You can get the Intellivision for somewhere around under $10 loose. I think it's probably right around the same for the NES. I'd recommend it. Thank you much. Bye now. Hey, if you made it this far, make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment, share this video out, all that gubbins that is good for the YouTube algorithm. Thanks so much.